Alright, let's try this thing, because I'm actually really excited, because I haven't recorded in like forever, because I have been struggling from some shit. Welcome back to my channel, great people of the world. Today I wanted to talk about something that I find really exciting, and that is actually when we are losing fat, how the hell do we keep our muscle, right? Well, I'm about to elaborate on that in a moment. You know, I figured that when people say to me that they want to lose weight, that they don't want to look like Christian Bale from The Machine or something. I don't know, the movie where he's skinny AF, right? You don't want to look like you're starved. So when people try to lose fat and they just cut weight, or they just eat less or do something stupid, and they find out that they are unsatisfied with their work, that's a bad place to be, right? Losing fat and weight is hard enough as it is, so at least you would want to be as content as possible with the results. The first, and probably just a quick point, because of you probably already know this, and that is, you know, exercise is a cornerstone in keeping your muscle, right? If you're losing weight and you just stop exercising, you can't predict or expect to keep your muscle. So it just kind of says itself, you have to train to give your body signals to not eat up your muscle. Therefore we stimulate anabolism in the gym, increasing testosterone and all other that we need. Yeah, that's basically the whole point. We have even things like mTOR upregulation, a myriad of things going on in the body to make sure that maybe you're not building muscle, but at least you are keeping your muscle, or reducing the amount of muscle you lose on a fat loss diet. So that is the exercise portion. It also makes your sleep better, which is a smooth segue into my next topic. Why would we want to sleep to keep muscle? Well, you probably know but when you sleep you recover, and your body is pretty active actually when it's sleeping, when it comes to what happens inside of your brain activity and things happening in the body. So we want to sleep, right, to reduce stress and to increase testosterone. So basically the same as the last point. We want to have enough energy and focus to do a productive workout, so they both like play together, right? So you'll probably come to see soon that everything, like all of these aspects, they kind of work with each other in unison and play off each other. So if there's like one thing that you are not doing correctly, it can impact all those other things that you could have done correctly if you fix that one thing. So it's important that if you are gonna do this right, that you do most of it or all of it right, and that's not easy. But who said bodybuilding would be, right? Everyone wanna be a bodybuilder, but nobody wanna sleep and lift some heavy ass weight. I don't know. So Ronnie Coleman, I love your energy, man. We've come to a bit of a mindfuck part of this video, and that is actually eating enough or having sufficient amounts of food. And you're probably wondering, but what's up, man? Because when we're losing fat, isn't the point of not having sufficient amount of calories so that you have to reduce your weight? And you are exactly right. But the thing is, when you're not feeding your body enough, it induces a more catabolic state, and it sends signals to break shit down, and among that, fat tissue. So that's not a problem. But the thing is, the more of a deficit you are in calories, the almost exponential are those effects. And yes, you will lose weight faster, but you will also lose muscle to a much larger extent. So what I'm trying to say is, you need to find a place to where you are losing weight but not eating so little that you can't have a productive training, that you can't sleep, and that you can't keep your muscle. So eat enough to keep your muscle, eat little enough to lose weight is the ratio here. So, and usually people recommend about a 500 to 1,000 calorie deficit a day. Usually 500's a good place to start. You're not in a rush, right? Just chill and stay in a slight deficit, and that's slow and steady wins the race on this one, guys. Another point, back to kind of sleep, and that is to relax. Take some time off, you know, because work is stressful too. Training induces stress, and you know what the antagonist of stress is? Testosterone. So if you stress a lot, your testosterone goes down. So that is the best recipe if you want to lose your muscle, right? So sometimes, basically what I'm saying is, you have to find a balance between your work and your training and your relaxing sessions. Is that a word? Or taking your time off, basically. So that can be in a day, for example, before you go to bed 2 hours, just don't do anything really, like, I was about to say erotic. Don't do anything like arousing, like when it comes to your brain. Don't be in a heated discussion on Instagram, or do something that really keeps your head racing. Like, can you imagine going from work and just immediately go to bed and sleep? Like, how do you even do that? I mean, if you work 16 hours a day, maybe you can, because you're so tired, but you know, we saw what happened to people in the 1800s when they worked 20 hours a day and slept 4 hours. They didn't live long, did they? And they sure as hell weren't bodybuilders, or building muscle, or keeping muscle, or losing fat. Anyway, enough ramble about that. Also, remember that training itself, productive training, produces some stress. So I would recommend that you do a deload every once in a while. And depending on if you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, you can go from, you know, every 3 to 4 weeks to even 3 to 4 months without ever needing a deload. You'll have to figure that out yourself by looking at your training. If you are seeing progression and you're feeling fine, you don't need a deload, right? But if you're stagnating a bit, maybe it's wise to take some time off. It's also a reason that we have vacations from work. Remember to have a balance between all-out hardcore warrior mode, don't care what your body feels, and also, you know, giving it time to rest and chill. And another point of that is actually to drink things that you like. For example, juice or sodas without or with sugar, whatever you prefer. I love them, at least. But remember, when you're losing fat, you should maybe look at calorie-free like Diet Coke and stuff, basically stuff like that. And if you're worried about health, I don't know what to tell you, man. At least you die shredded, right? Come on. And also, put some spice in your food. I can't tell you how many times I see people come and they don't boast, but they're like, yeah, I'm eating chicken, broccoli, and rice without any salt or pepper or anything, and it tastes like nothing, and I'm hating life. Aren't I cool, a warrior? I'm like, I mean, I always say if you enjoy it, then you go, but usually that's not the long-term solution. So also remember to spice your food. Put some lemon and some good stuff to really piff up your food. I think that will do a long way in the mental aspect of losing weight and your relaxation, of course, because if you're never kind of satisfied, your stress is like always there, you're always on the grind. So I think if you can really enjoy your food and be full, at least just momentarily, I think it goes a long way. So spice your food, and don't be afraid to drink things that don't put yourself in a mindset where water or milk is the only acceptable beverages. You can have things that taste good as well. Friendly tip from me. And I also think a nice way to keep your muscle while losing fat is watching this video. No, but seriously, if you made it here and you enjoyed the video, press the like button to show the YouTube algorithm that, you know, I'm a cool guy. Thank you for doing that. And now, when it comes to cardio, because when I meant exercise, cardio is in it, but I'm just going to have to point out, really emphasize the point of cardio, because a lot of us that like building muscle and going to the gym kind of sometimes neglect cardio, and that, my friend, is a huge mistake. And I'll tell you why. Because when it comes to keeping your muscle, right, what do we want to do? Well, we want to sleep good, we want to have productive training sessions, and we want to eat enough food to not feel like we are starving to death. Now, what does cardio do here? Well, it enhances everything. How? Well, when you do cardio, what you do? You burn calories. What you do when you burn calories? Well, you can eat more. Or you can, if you are not losing weight right now, and if you just do cardio, you will lose weight if you keep your food intake the same without even feeling hungry. So cardio is like an angel when it comes to your food intake. And what about sleep? Well, cardio improves your sleep. You'll sleep deeper, harder, longer. Probably, well, at least you'll sleep deeper. So what I'm telling you to do is to do cardio really. And when it comes to exercise, you can rest less between sets. You can incorporate more forms of stimulating hypertrophy if you want to. You can, for example, squat to 10 to 20 reps without being out of breath or as out of breath. So cardio really opens up some doors for you, man, so take advantage. Do cardio. I have a video about cardio even if you want to check it out. I think it's... Is it up there? How does this work? Yeah, I think I have a video like up here when it comes to doing cardio, so yeah, do it. You know, check it out if you want to, because cardio is the spice of life. No, not really. I highly recommend doing cardio. You won't regret it, even though you think so. And if you think you're wasting time, well, if you have 30 minutes to lay in your bed to watch YouTube, just go on the treadmill for 30 minutes while you're watching YouTube. It's the same thing, or watch my videos. Cardio doesn't have to be a quote-unquote waste of time. You can still do something fun on the cardio machine, or do something productive. I wouldn't recommend riding or reading while running on a treadmill, but there's still a lot of things to do. And lastly, and I took this last because it doesn't really affect much if you don't get the other shit right. This last point doesn't even become valid at all, and that is taking supplements like creatine, monohydrate to improve your performance basically a bit, and that can help, giving just enough stimulus to keep your muscle. You can take ashwagandha to reduce stress and thereby increasing some testosterone, and you can even take, I think Tonkatali is the new kind of supplement out there now that people are talking about. So I could recommend that you invest in that if you are doing everything else right and you just want to really keep your muscle or even build muscle in a deficit, because that is possible. You can try out some supplements, but it's definitively not a necessity. And with that said, I think I got my point across, guys. So I guess I'll see you in the video that YouTube recommends for you to watch. Watch more videos to give me watch time, and YouTube will recommend me to more people. So yeah, see you in those videos.